is an evil that will destroy us all. Out of the light comes a roadie.
Bring on the impalement.
Armed with the power of metal and destined to become a legend.
It's time to sound the battle cry. Not sure, but I like how that sounds.
Starring Jack Black as Eddie Riggs.
Hello, ladies.
With Rob Halford.
The other guy. This is gonna be a bloodbath.
Ooh, what is that smell? Is that burning hair?
Lemmy Kilmister.
What the hell?
Lita Ford.
Would you like a ride?
And Ozzy Osbourne.
It's about fucking time!
Yeah, time for a mosh pit. Ass Kickers Unite! Oh, yeah.
Brütal Legend.
So are you the keeper of the sacred beer tree? Dream job.
Hello, this is a review of Brütal Legend. This game follows the story of Eddie Riggs, who is the world's best roadie for the world's worst heavy metal band. The game begins one night before a gig. As Riggs is tuning the guitar, an accident happens and he starts to bleed. His blood drips onto his cursed belt buckle, which is really an amulet for Armageddon, the fire beast, cremator of the sky and destroyer of the ancient world. Armageddon awakens and transports Eddie into a heavy metal and Nordic fantasy inspired alternate story where demons have enslaved humanity. Eddie comes to learn that the fantasy world was created by a race of ancient titans who left behind numerous relics and instructions for the following generations to use, but neither humans nor demons could decipher their meanings. Only Eddie, due to his roadie skills, is able to make sense of their meanings and can put the titans with some to use. While Eddie is seen as the chosen one, it is unclear whether he is the savior or the destroyer of the world. Brütal Legend is an action-adventure game published by Double Fine Productions and Electronic Arts for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The game was released on 2009 and additionally in 2013 the game was released on Windows, macOS and Linux systems via Steam. The world is divided in two continents. The biggest one is the Western continent, where we are going to find the Buttersmith, the beach party, the beer hands, the blade hands, the crushing pit, the death's clutch, the horn thrower, the hunter's camp, the Mount Rockmore, the Pleasure Tower, the Razor Fields, the Screaming Wall, the Spider Lair, the Thunderhorn, and the Forest. And in the other continent, the Eastern continent, we find the Jungle region, the Temple of Taulia, the Swamp region, the Black Tear region, the Batcave, the Dry Ice Mines, and the Sea of Black Tears. In this map we have a lot of collectibles as artifacts of legends that are statues that hold the keys to the world's true history. Bound serpents are collectibles scattered throughout the Brütal land. Buried metal are artifacts that add songs to the mouth of metal. A landmark view is a collectible in Brütal Legend that can be activated to get a new perspective on a nearby landmark, as well as earning fire tributes. Lightning plug jumps are sweet jumps for the deals that are marked by swarms of lightning plug bugs. Motor forges are holy temples where the player can spend fire tributes on skills and equipment upgrades. And the tab slabs are collectibles scattered throughout the Brütal land that unlocks new guitar solos in single player. Now, looking at the creatures we can find in the map, the first one is the ground urchins that are small, steel squile animals that spend most of their time wandering the hills and plains surrounding Bloodhenge. The raptor egg that are mammal reptile hybrids that wander around the western continent in large numbers. The Tolusk, which is an aggressive dog-like creature with a steel trap for a face with claws and back spike made of chrome. The metal spiders are creatures that serve the Metal Queen and can typically be found around her lair in the northern mountain region. The Razorfire boars are boar motorcycle hybrids with chrome tusks and handlebar ears that have wheels for legs. Their bones are made from metal, and when pulled out from the body, they create a rather powerful ranged weapon. The Laser Panther is a beast capable of attacking by clawing at the enemy, shooting lasers from its eyes to attack units over a long distance. The Seagulls Wraith are decaying animals. As seen by their flying abilities, they attack by swooping down and hitting enemies with their long, sickle-like arms. The Guillotar is an amalgam of beast and execution device that lives in the dark lands surrounding the Sea of Black Tears. It's an animal that controls two guillotines that act as its legs and as a device for attacking its prey. The Extradon is the large beast thunder over Death's Clutch, the only location where they can be found. The Fan Lich is a gigantic winged creature that attaches itself to the Fan Gazers and must be removed by units before a merge booth can be used. The Seagulls are flying creatures that appear as normal and harmless, but are actually flying microphones that send off a nasty feedback scream. The Lamprey is a gigantic tapeworm-like creature vaguely reminiscent of a vertebral column and exists only to guard itself of the sacrifice that the druids bring to its feeding area. And the last one is the Metal Queen, the fearsome matriarch of the metal spiders, which resides at the heart of the spider lair, where she commands her swarm. And to end talking about the world, let's take a look at the races. The first one are the humans, a race created by the Tainted Coil in a botched attempt to bring back the Titans. The demons are a race born from the Sea of the Armageddon's blood. They rule over the world when Eddie Riggs arrives to the Age of Metal. The Titans were an ancient, omnipotent, immortal race born from the Sea of Armageddon's blood. They used his parts to make cars, music and other things before they rose to heaven to become metal gods. A small number remained behind and can be seen working directly in the motor forges to create glorious new weapons of rock. The Tear Drinkers are a race of former humans driven mad by the Sea of Black Tears. The Fans are a subterranean race once harnessed by the Titans to power the entire civilization. They rise to the surface in fan geysers whenever the potential for rock is near. And the first one were the first creatures to inhabit the Brütal land. They were destroyed when Armageddon exploded, giving life to new species. Starting with the allies, we have Edward Eddie Riggs, that is the main protagonist of Brütal Legend. Eddie is the leader of the Ironhead faction and is the avatar the player adopts when playing as the faction in multiplayer and in single player. He has two weapons, the Separator, a battle axe, and his guitar Clementine. Ophelia is Eddie Riggs' first ally and love interest in Brütal Legend. He meets her after entering the Age of Metal during the mission Welcome to the Age of Metal. Lars Halford is the oldest brother of Lita Halford and the leader of the Ironhead. the human resistance against the Emperor Doviculus and his army of demons, the Tainted Coil. He is descended from the last human king. Lita Halford is the younger sister of Lars Halford. She accepts Eddie Riggs as an ally in the resistance movement against Emperor Doviculus. She is extremely distrustful of Ophelia due to her parents having been in the Black Tear Rebellion. Magnus is an Ironhead engineer, an ally of Eddie Riggs. He also acts as a roadie, helping set up the mega stage before stage battles and driving the Ironhead's tour bus. The Killmaster is a motorcycle driving bass mystic who lives at the top of the Thunderhorn and has the power to help his allies by playing his bass guitar. The Baron is the leader of a pyromaniac biker group known as the Fire Barons. They were known to live in the area surrounding Death's Clutch, but left when General Lionwhite was placed in power by the Tainted Coil. Rima is the queen of the Saulia, a group of female warriors who ride metal beasts into battle. And the last ally is Cage the Canyoneer, is a bouncer on Mortal Canyon, which has problems aiming correctly, and Eddie Riggs helps him improving his accuracy. And now it's time to talk about the antagonist. The first one is Mittens, is the name that Eddie Riggs mockingly calls the bouncer beast boss in charge of the Crushing Pit. Lionwhite is the leader and avatar of the High Metal Militia. He oversees the continued slavery of humanity under Emperor Doviculus and the Tainted Coil. Drone Ophelia is the dark side of the ally Ophelia created when she jumps to the Sea of Black Tears. She has two weapons, her bare hands and six-stringed sorrow, her guitar. The last antagonist is the Emperor Doviculus, the primary antagonist of Brütal Legend. He is the leader of the Tainted Coil faction, and he has two weapons, the double staff Ash and the Hydra, a quadruple-necked electric guitar. And now talking about the neutral character, we have the Guardian of Metal, a supporting character, an immortal keeper of the timeless secrets, and serves as a showkeeper who can provide upgrades to Eddie's weapons and his dues if Eddie has enough fire tributes. The Haunter is a character who issues the player of slaughter hunting side missions. He constantly brags about his records for killing the various creatures in the world, which Eddie can beat them for fire tributes. That bat is the father in a family of bats who have been driven out of their cave by Seeker Wrath and Atolus. He gives the player the Fire in the Path Man secondary mission. And the last one is Fletus, is a demon who gives the player the Racing secondary mission and serves as the opponent during those missions. And now it's time to talk about the historical characters. The first one is Ormagoden, an ancient creature, omnipotent, immortal, and described as the eternal fire beast, cremator of the sky, and the destroyer of the ancient world. Ragnarok was a renowned hero amongst the human and the Saulia, the founder and the leader of the Black Tear Rebellion, and the one who led the Saulia to victory over that same rebellion when its members went mad after drinking from the Sea of Black Tears. Shukoria, also known as the Grand Demon Witch and White-Winged Death, was a fearsome demon warrior and a former emperor of the Tainted Coil. Aetulia was an ancient and beautiful being who lived in the untouched place, singing to the roots of Madronal, the teethed tree of drinking, which would then turn it to nourishment for the ungrateful First One, who had escaped underground in order to escape Ormagoden's painful light. The First King was son of the First One, said to be the greatest, who ventured into the untouched place under Madronal, wherein he trapped Aetulia in a cage, allowing him to use the power of her song to become the first king of the First Ones. And the last one are Ophelia's parents, that were rebels who fought in the Black Tear Rebellion. And the last character are the bosses, which we are going to find along the game. The first one is the Lamprey, a gigantic creature and the first boss in Brütal Legend, encountered during the mission Welcome to the Age of Metal. The Black Tear Tolux is a unique Tolux encountered in the Bat Cave during Fairly in the Batman secondary mission. And the last one is the Black Tear Monster. It's a titanic creature summoned by Emperor Doviculus during the mission Abomination Overdrive. It is formed from the Sea of Black Tears and the cathedral overlooking it. And now it's time to talk about the units that we can create in the multiplayer. The first one are the Iron Head units. The Headbanger is an Iron Head melee infantry unit, upgradable, best used against basic range infantry or in support of stronger individual units. You can double team with them and Headbangers will gather around Eddie in a circular mosh pit. Most small infantry that approach will be knocked back and suffer moderate damage. The Razor Gears is an Iron Head range infantry unit, upgradable. Razor Gears use their large crossbow-like weapons to shoot energy bolts at their targets. You can double team with a Razor Gear and see hops onto Eddie's shoulders, allowing him to select targets for an enhanced damage attack. The Thunderhawk is an Iron Head support vehicle unit that heals friendly infantry. It's also upgradable. Shooting bash jump heal nearby infantry effect does not stack with additional Thunderhawks. You can double team with this drivable vehicle and Eddie take the bass guitar and produce a massive sonic blast, temporarily stunning nearby infantry and vehicles. The Fire Baron is an Iron Head short-range vehicle unit that specializes in destroying infantry. Fire Baron throws Molotov at the enemies which explode and ignite their targets. You can double team with this drivable vehicle and Eddie is going to lay down a trail of flaming booze, enveloping foes in a complete circle with trap and burn them as a circle shrinks. The Hell Splitter is an Iron Head general purpose range vehicle. The large skull mounted on the vehicle contains a ballista weapon. When in use, the skull splits in half to raise the ballista to a firing position. You can double team with this drivable vehicle and Eddie could aim and fire the Head Splitter's weapon doing higher damage than the normal. The Bouncer is an Iron Head melee infantry unit that specializes in destroying enemy vehicles. Bouncers use their massive iron fists to batter enemies in melee range. Their attacks have a long wind-up time, so they are most effective against slow-moving or stationary vehicles. The double team with this unit allows Eddie to pick up the Bouncer and drop him, doing area damage and knocking back small infantry. The Rowdy is an Iron Head melee infantry unit that specializes in destroying buildings. They are stealth specialists who are hidden from the enemies unless in close quarters. The gigant amps that they carry on their backs deliver blasts of feedback that damage their enemies. The double team with this raidable infantry allows Eddie to jump at the top of one of the speakers, getting all the benefits of his fellow Rowdy's stealth. He's been able to create a feedback blast with knockback. The Metal Beast is an Iron Head short-range infantry unit that specializes in destroying infantry. Those animals can breathe fire over a short distance, scorching any enemies in the area. The double team with this raidable infantry allows Eddie to ride the Metal Beast and aim and fire the beast's potent breathed weapon. The Rock Crusher is an Iron Head range assault and support vehicle and the faction's most powerful unit. Pyro mortars rain death upon enemies from far away. Portable speakers stacks motivate nearby troops, raising their damage output, and there's also a front-mounted grinding crusher. Eddie can double team with the Rock Crusher to direct its motion and attacks. Eddie plays the Bloodhand solo, summoning a Stonehenge-like ring around his foes, trapping them. As the attack completes, a sword descends into the ring, dealing massive damage to the enemies trapped inside. Now it's time to see the Drawing Doom units, and we start with the Grave Digger. It's a Drawing Doom basic melee infantry and upgradable. You can double team with them, and Drone Ophelia is going to fall into a Grave Digger's hole and is able to travel beneath the ground. When the time is right, she can burst forth, producing a large explosion. Unlike most double team attacks, Ophelia cannot disengage from this double team without actually attacking. The Bride is a Drowning Doom support infantry unit that slows the movement and attack speed of enemy units. Double team with this unit allow Drone Ophelia dance with her bridge and summons Fourth Lightning Strike upon enemy targets. The Frywig is a Drowning Doom basic range infantry unit, upgradable. Double team with this unit allow Drone Ophelia to toss the Frywig onto an enemy unit, forcing it to attack its allies. Frywigs take a portion of the damage directed at the unit to which they are attached. The Ragut is a Drowning Doom short-range infantry unit that specializes in destroying infantry. The Ragut fights by expelling the rats from his body so they can devour enemy forces, replenishing his health when they are recalled back into his stomach. Double team with this raidable infantry allows Drone Ophelia to jump into Ragut's spacious stomach. From that location, relative safety, she can control her host, distant raiding friends, and focus the attack on specific groups of enemies. The Organist is a Drowning Doom support vehicle that reduces the attack power of enemy units. Pipe organ music intimidates foes, causing them to do less damage. Effect stacked with multiple Organists. The double team with this drivable vehicle allows Drone Ophelia to take the control of the Organist and is able to use him to latch onto enemy units, controlling them manually like a puppet master. The Lightning Rod is a Drowning Doom range vehicle. When attacking, the top of the car opens up to bring a man in a prison garb escape to an electric chair. By electrocuting the driver of the Lightning Rod, a bolt of lightning is thrown at enemy units. Some enemies can be stunned by its attacks. The double team with this raidable vehicle allows Drone Ophelia to aim and fire the Lightning Rod's weapon. The Brood is a Drowning Doom rage vehicle that specializes in destroying vehicles. It launches evil dolls that can be shred apart vehicles. They are cheap and quick to make, making them important for tearing apart enemy vehicles in groups. The double team with this unit allows Drone Ophelia to leap into the Brütal Void and is able to drive it like a vehicle. When the attack is initiated, the Brood will charge forward and explode. The Reaper is a Drowning Doom melee infantry that is specialized in destroying infantry. Reapers ride around slashing enemies with their cycles in a hit-and-run fashion. The double team with this raidable infantry produces an aura of fear, sending enemies infantry running. You can take the Reaper cycle and target specific enemies. The Dirigible is a Drowning Doom support vehicle that increases the damage taken by enemy units and buildings. Nausea Sash awakens enemy and causes them to take more damage from attacks. The double team with this drivable vehicle allows Drone Ophelia to hurl funeral urns onto the battlefield. The explosion does damage over time to enemies and slowly heals friendly infantry. The Treeback is a Drowning Doom range infantry unit and the faction most powerful unit. The double team with this raidable infantry allows Drone Ophelia to summon the Treeback forth from the ground and sits in his tree as he lumbers across the battlefield. Treeback has a powerful melee attack and his crows continue to attack while he has double team active. Another race is the Tainted Coil, which has these units. The first one is the Battle Nun. This is a Tainted Coil melee infantry hierarchy unit. Slowly heals nearby minions and quickly regenerates her own health when surrounded by minions. The double team with them allows Doviculus to hold an audience with Battle Nun to produce soul kissers and punishing parties. If he holds an audience with a divine or superior battle nun, he can produce divine or superior soul kissers and divine or superior punishing parties. The Warfather is a tainted coil range infantry hierarchy unit. Slowly heals nearby minions and quickly regenerates his own health when surrounded by minions. The Oviculus must hold an audience with Warfathers to produce the Skin Wagon, Pain Lifter, Skull Raker, and Superior Battle Nun. If he holds an audience with a Superior Warfather, he can produce Superior Scream Wagons, Superior Pain Lifters, Superior Skull Rakers, and Divine Battle Nuns. The Overblaster is a tainted coil range infantry hierarchy unit. Slowly heals nearby minions and quickly regenerates his own health when surrounded by minions. The Overblaster behaves similarly to the Warfather, conjuring up and shooting unholy bolts of energy down a target from his altar, albeit he tries much power. The Oviculus must hold an audience with the Overblaster to produce the Hate Cage, the Hair Cutter, and the Superior Warfather. The Soul Kisser is a tainted coil basic melee infantry, summoned only through a battle nun. Divan and superior versions are available. The Oviculus in double team can pick up the Soul Kisser and throw her at the enemy, causing a high damage. This attack is powerful enough to remove a fan leech with 2 throws. The Punishing Party is a tainted coil basic range infantry, summoned only through a battle nun. Divine and superior versions are available. The Dominatrices are offensive members, hurling speed at the enemies from a distance, while the Slave provides them with ammunition, carried numerous spears in his back. It's a raidable infantry in double team with the Oviculus, which jumps at the top of the Slave and is able to manually throw spears at the target. The Skull Raker is a tainted coil range infantry unit, summoned only through a Warfather, effective at short or medium range. Superior version available. When double teamed with them, the Oviculus uses his staff to strike the Skull Raker head directly into enemies. The Scream Wagon is a tainted coil support vehicle that provides a number of beneficial effects for friendly units. This super vehicle is only summoned only through a Warfather. Superior version is available. In double team is a drivable vehicle which sprouts deadly front spikes, and the active buff can be cycled at will. The Pain Lifter is a tainted coil second generation range vehicle that specializes in destroying infantry, summoned only through a Warfather. Superior version is available. In double team is a drivable vehicle, and the Oviculus can aim, fire, and roll the Agony Ball and its trigger detonation. The Hair Cutter is a tainted coil range vehicle that specializes in destroying vehicles, summoned only through an Overblaster. In double team is a drivable vehicle. The Druid stabs the Oviculus himself in the heart, producing an array of deadly blades at the targeted location. When the player chooses to attack, the Hair Cutter will stop and ground target reticle will appear. Attacking again will cause a large number of blades to erupt from wherever the reticle is placed, impaling all the target in the area. The Head Cage is a tainted coil range infantry unit, summoned only through an Overblaster. The Cage Demon spits liquid as hate at the enemies. Any foes standing near the cage will also be soaked in hate, causing them to take more damage from attacks. When the player is in double team raiding the hate cage, attacking makes it stomps with one foot on the ground, slightly in front of it. Although it holds its foot up for a few moments before stamping. The attack causes both damage and knockback on all targets underfoot. The Bleeding Death is a tainted coil melee infantry unit and the faction's most powerful unit, counters virtually any unit. The Grey's Bleeding Dead refuse to follow order, much less let the Oviculus raid it. The Motor Forge is a place where we can spend the fire tributes which we earn in the game. In some upgrades, the Motor Forge is protected by the Guardian of Metal, and we have several entries along the world to access the forge. Inside the forge, the first thing we can upgrade is the Deus. We can buy Double Nitro, the mod of metal, which is a radio, give the Deus more performance and a bumper. The next is choose the features of the Mount Rockmore. We can choose between different characters that appear in the game. Next one, we can unlock different combos for the player, which allows us to do more damage. Threads is our personal dressing room. We can choose between different skins for our character. In the age treatments, we can customize our age, giving it another appearance and special features. The guitar string is like the age. We can customize our guitar, giving it another appearance and special features. In the back pages, we can choose between different pages for the back of our waistcoat. In the paint jobs, we can give the Deus another appearance with different vinyls. And to end this section, we can upgrade our Deus with some weapons. We have two different weapons, the secondary like a mine dropper, side burners or a subwoofer, and the primary weapons like a bolt thrower, a machine gun or a missile launcher. Brütal Legend is a game which takes place in an open world. In this open world we can do what we want, kill creatures, enemies, raid our car, or simple just enjoy the music. The game is a mix between linear, open world and real-time strategy, and during the game we are going to play them all. The open world allows us to find, as we said before, all the collectibles and accept secondary missions. The open world is around 100 square kilometers. The linear part follows a story to defeat the demons in the Metal Land. To play this, you have to find the primary missions in the map and accept them. While you are playing a primary mission, you will have a playable area which you cannot leave or you will find the mission. If you finish the story, you have the option to keep playing to complete the game at 100%, completing all the missions and collecting all the collectibles. And to finish this review, we are going to talk about the multiplayer mode. In the first menu, we can change different things like the map when we are going to play, the faction which we want to play, the enemy faction, and the difficulty of the enemy. Once in the game, the first thing we are going to see is our scenario, which we have to defend against the enemy. In both sides we have two merchandise towers. These merchandise towers send energy fans to our scenario, allowing us, when we have enough energy, to create units. In the other side of the map we have the enemy scenario, which we have to destroy with our units, and as you can see, it also has two merchandise towers like ours. In the map we are going to find some creatures like these ones. Those are fan leads attached to a fan geyser. We have to remove them to place a merchandise tower and get more fan power to the scenario. The only way to remove the fan leads is attacking it with our units. Once the fan leads has gone, if the fan geyser is red, that means that we have to kill all the enemies around. If we don't do this, we can place a merchandise tower. Using a solo, which we are going to explain later, we can build a merchandise tower. These towers are not immune, the enemy can destroy them and build another. When the solo is finished, the tower is going to start to build up, and when it's finished, it's going to start to send fan power to the scenario. The menu to create unit is a simple circle where we can select between different units. If they are in white color, that means that we have enough fans to create this unit, or we don't pass the maximum units permit. If they are red, that means that we don't have enough fans, or we paste the maximum units. And if they are in a dark gray, that means that we have to upgrade our scenario, which is the option given in the top of the circle. When we select it to create a unit, At the top right of the screen we have the timer for each unit. When the timer reaches the end, the unit is going to jump from the scenario to the arena. To these units we can send orders to them. We can do it in general for the units near us, or pressing a button we can send orders individually. The different orders we can give are follow us, defend this position, attack in front of us if there are enemy units, and go to the light spot that we marked. The solo menu is similar to the unit creation. The solos are used, for example, to create units, destroy infantry units, create merchandise towers, or summon the deus. Once we select a solo, we have to play a song like in the game Guitar Hero, but shorter.
Let's hear it for the fans!
And to win the battle, as we said at the start, we have to destroy the enemy scenario. When the scenario is destroyed, we will win with a brutal victory.
A good roadie knows his whole job is to make someone else look good, keep someone else safe, help someone else do what they were put here to do. A good roadie stays out of the spotlight. If he's doing his job right, you don't even know he's there. Once in a while he might step on stage just to fix a problem, to set something right. But then before you even realize he was there, or what he did, he's gone.